Hello and welcome to PlumeriaPlay. Today we are building a new 100 baby house in the world of Tartosa, and this is kind of a long one, so let's hop into it. I'm gonna try to make this as reasonably length as possible, but it really is quite a long build. It took me over 6 hours in real time to finish it, so this one is probably gonna be a slightly longer speed build than usual. So feel free to grab a drink, grab a snack, get cozy, and we will just hang out through this whole build. So we're working on the exterior now, and we're going with kind of an Encanto theme house. We're not trying to do a one-to-one replica of the Disney Encanto house, but you're gonna be able to see where the inspiration was taken from. To try to shorten the speed build some, I actually end up cutting out a lot of the exterior because that is the part that is probably the most boring to watch, because this one, even the bathrooms that we did are very unique and fun, so I really didn't want to cut those out. And bathrooms is kind of like the first thing on the chopping block when a video is too long. But you can kind of see the style that we're going for and the vibes that we're going for. We don't end up staying this vibrant, but the shape of the house and like the general color blocking is pretty much how it's gonna be. So time skipping ahead to the pastel color variants that we ended up with. These are mostly from For Rent actually. They have some beautiful pastel colors that are still a little bit on the vibrant side, but now that's like kind of the shape of the house done, and it ended up being smaller on the inside than I had originally thought because it looks so massive from the exterior. It's still a very large house, don't get me wrong, but for how big I thought it was gonna be, it wasn't as bad as I expected. But now we're working on windows and doors, and we're mostly gonna be using windows and doors from the For Rent expansion pack, mostly from the For Rent expansion pack, at least the windows. I think the door might actually be base game, but we're now just trying to figure out where all of those go. And I think this is another part that we're gonna kind of skip through because it takes me a little bit to figure out the full window situation. It was kind of hard to do. The towers made it especially difficult to do the windows because of how the roof line is. Like I couldn't put a big window or it would be clipping into the roof line, but then it didn't feel significant enough on the tower. But now we're working on the floor plan. I always do the windows in the front of the house because like curb appeal, and then in the back of the house I always do them after we figure out the floor plan because I do still want them to look nice, but at some point you've got to go with function over aesthetic, and in the back of the house, in my opinion, is the place for that to happen. So for our floor plan, what we end up with on the very bottom floor, we've got open concept kitchen, living, dining. We also have our toddler room down there because they need to avoid stairs if at all possible, and then we also fit a bathroom downstairs on that bottom floor as well. On the second floor is the teen and kid skill building space in that big open stair landing area, and we're also going to fit the infants room here and another bathroom. And on the third floor, we're gonna have our kids and teens sleeping space. And you may be thinking, where's your mom sim gonna go? And she is gonna go here in this little extra house we have that I'm working on right now. It is the exact same color scheme as the rest of the house, but it's connected by a little awning, and technically what makes this a true villa style build, because to have a villa, if I'm not mistaken, you do have to have some sort of detached area. I had originally planned to use that as the skill building room, but the way that the house worked out, it just looked better for it to be her space. And I know I said I was gonna cut out the window part, but this is kind of important because we are gonna have flowers go around the house, and we're just kind of marking that now. But you can see that the windows on the exterior are changing ever so slightly, and you may end up seeing like patches of those flowers that don't look very good yet. Don't worry, I just dropped those down as filler so they don't stay, but I am gonna probably cut out the rest of the window portion because it's just a little repetitive. So now the windows are done and the roof line is finished. I did build this live on stream, so if you do want to see it live or like see exactly how I did certain things, I will link my second channel, Plumeria Plus, in the description below. I'm gonna be posting all 3 of the VODs, which is just like, it's called a video on demand, but it's basically something that you live stream that then you upload separately. That's like what a VOD is, if you've never heard that before. Not to keep plugging myself, but I'll also link my Twitch account if you ever want to come hang out with us on stream. I do a lot of builds live stream, especially the builds that turn into speed builds eventually. That's usually where they happen. But we are placing these flowers all over the place. This is very like Isabella Encanto-esque. But what we're doing is coming in with these really pretty white flowers, and then we're gonna come back through and layer some purple flowers because I wanted it to be more colorful than just the white flowers. but all purple was just a little too much with all the other colors that we had. I think that this turns out excellently, and we end up with purple landscaping kind of everywhere else, like a pinky purple landscaping. I honestly love it. This is one of my favorite landscaping and like floral arrangements, I guess you could say, that I've ever done on a build, and it was an idea from stream once again. So it's always nice to build on stream because I feel like we always end up with like really fun videos and builds with it. But now we are starting on the actual landscaping of the build. So I did finish the exterior pretty fully before we went inside. The way that I usually like to build is to build like the outside shape and maybe even go ahead and get the roof line and things figured out, then do the floor plan, and then after I do the floor plan, I like to come back outside and finish landscaping. I get landscaping fatigue really bad, so if I save it till last, which I do sometimes, I get kind of lazy with it and I don't feel like I put in my best landscaping effort. Let me know if you ever feel the same way in the comments. I feel like I could build and decorate for forever, but the landscaping just kind of gets a little sometimes, and you can see my camera going around on the map of the world. I'm like trying to take inspiration from the pieces of the world around us and to put them in here, and we kind of do that, but we definitely end up deviating some from that, because while I did want it to fit in with the world, I still wanted it to be very lush and vibrant and colorful, so we end up with more of like a pinky purple vibe, and I think it still fits really well, but it's just a little bit more like lush and florally than the rest of the landscaping around us. So you can kind of see now what we're going for. I was really trying to avoid using the low-lying yellow plant bush like that pretty much every simmer ever uses as like the base of their landscaping. There's nothing wrong with that bush, but I just felt like all my landscaping was starting to look the exact same. So I was trying to branch out, and we ended up with just like really pretty like ivy that kind of like snakes out and spreads a little bit further. I'm obsessed with it. I think it makes me really happy with the landscaping in general, and it kind of gives it a little bit of uniqueness, even though the rest of the landscaping is very typical to how I would usually landscape a build. I feel like I'm in an era with my Sims building where I'm really trying to branch out and try new styles and try different things. I started a whole other mini series called the Spin the Aesthetic, where I just try to build in other styles because I feel like I very much gravitate towards like a craftsman or just like general suburban style. So this like Spanish style and Kanto themed house was also really out of the comfort zone, but it was just like what I had envisioned. It was like never a question to me that it was gonna be an Encanto inspired Spanish style house once we decided we were moving to Tartosa. Cause I was like, it's the 100 baby challenge. It needs to be colorful and fun and vibrant. And this is likely our last 100 baby house. So I was like, it has to be the best one yet. Like, we're gonna be here for 30 more babies. It has to be the best house that we've ever lived in before. And I think it is. And honestly, I'm filming this after I've played in this house for the very first time already. So I played in it and I loved it. It worked really well. Now, I was like kind of heavy focused in on some infants in my last playthrough, so I didn't really get to experience the house in its entirety, but I will say so far I have been enjoying it. I know I still have 30 more babies to go, so we're really not even close to finish yet, but I'm starting to get anxious about this series ending. I have just loved it so much, and this is really my first ever big YouTube series. I say big, it's my first ever Let's Play on YouTube is the 100 baby challenge. My like first few videos on my channel were building my first 100 baby house, making my 100 baby mom sim, and then starting the Let's Play. And this is the thing that has grown my channel the most out of any other Let's Play or series that I've posted so far. So I don't want it to be over. And I've grown extremely attached to my mom sim, Ashton. So I'm like, do I have to stop playing with her after this challenge is over? It's so sad, but like not really. And once again, we're so far away from being done, but it's things that I've already started thinking about and things that I've already gotten some comments about, like, oh, what are you gonna do after the series? And I don't know if I can let the 100 baby challenge go though, but I feel like I can't do it again exactly how we've already done it. So that's definitely future thoughts and nothing to be overly concerned about yet. but I'm already like sad for the potential end of this series. Like I'm already mourning my mom sim who I'm still actively playing with. It's such a weird, silly thing though. But anyways, I yapped through the rest of the landscaping and I actually had a little stream crash and I had not saved since I started the landscaping. So the landscaping may look a little bit different from what you remember because I did have to do it again off camera. So I didn't even have that recorded, but it's all good and fine. And we are now inside the house where we end up with what I deem my color scheme. It's pink and yellow and blue and beautiful. I think it's so cute. We're using that wallpaper from Love Struck, the pretty little tile that has all those colors. And I think it just ends up being like the perfect little living room for our 100 baby challenge. I'm painting the rest of this downstairs area similar colors from, I think we're using mostly the pastel pop kit, except the yellow I believe is just base game, but just that pretty pastel blue, pink, yellow that we've been using on the rest of the walls. And now we're decorating our little living room space. I was extra yappy this stream, so I'm trying to cut it out and have already caught a few, but if you notice the camera pauses for just a second, I'm so sorry about that. I think I'm gonna have any of the ones that are too bad, but sometimes I just stop. I can't like talk and move my mouse at the same time as it turns out, but we're just like trying to figure out how to kind of keep the fun color scheme moving around. I use a lot of pastel pop. We use a couch from high school years, and this is a very pack heavy build. I have actually done a lot of pack heavy builds lately, so I feel strongly I owe you a limited pack build. But how do you like the limited pack builds? Would you prefer just base game builds? Do you like certain packs that like go well together or that are stylized, or do you like maybe the randomized challenges where you roll X amount of packs? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments because this is a pretty pack heavy build, and then I'm posting one I think Wednesday that's also a pretty pack heavy build, and I feel a little guilty about it, but sometimes it's just fun to do like all the packs, you know? I do love a limited pack build because I think that there is a challenge in that in and of itself. Plus it helps me remember things that I don't always remember in other packs. But on any house I ever play in, like the 100 baby house or the Not So Berry house, it's no holds bar. We just build with all the packs, and whatever comes to mind in the moment is what we go with. And that's the thing though, I wasn't really planning to build this 100 baby house quite so soon. So I did like the Not So Berry house just last week, and then now there's this one. So I have just been coming out with no limited packs at all on all of these builds. I am sorry about that. I know it can be a little annoying because it's super unrealistic to have all of the Sims packs. Like at this point, the game cost over $1,000, and that is an insane price point. Speaking of which, on the newest roadmap that they released, not a single kit. Do you think we're still going to be getting kits? I kind of think so, because they haven't ever put any of the creator kits on the roadmaps. So I bet we end up with a handful of creator kits from this next season of The Sims. Also, are you excited for the potential of fairies? Because I've got to tell you, I have been one of the people in the community that has been like pushing for fairies so hard. I think it is the perfect expansion pack to release over the summer. So hopefully they don't ruin it. I'm a little nervous. We'll see, I guess. I'm also excited for like the new apothecary skill potentially and things like that. I feel like they've been giving us a lot more details about this Enchanted by Nature expansion pack than they usually give us. And I wonder if that's because they seem to keep leaking, but they have that whole Something is Growing website that I'll link in the description in case you want to check it out. But it's pretty much teasing the expansion pack. So we already know that we're gonna have a new apothecary skill, 3 new traits, the new world name, which I'm blanking on right now, but I'm gonna go look it up after this snippet and I'll tell you what it is. The new world is gonna be called Ines Green or Innis Green. I still don't really know how to say it. Ines is kind of what I gravitate towards, but I have no idea if that's right. But that's the new name of the world, and it's very like gnome themed, which I've seen some debate online about whether it's gonna be gnomes instead of fairies, but I think gnomes and fairies go together. Like they're both very gardeny and naturey. Like they belong together, the gnomes and the fairies. And I kind of love like little gnome characters, so I'm excited for like that theme of the world. But we are decorating our toddler room now, and the thing with toddler rooms is I feel like I always end up with the same theme because of the tent. The Dream Home Decorator tent I feel like is kind of a necessity for the 100 baby challenge, but it is like only 4 colors, so it really limits your color schemes. And the first swatch with like the little blue sky and sunshine is what I usually go for, but this time I went with the one that kind of looks like doodles on there, and we ended up making a chalk wall. And I cannot take full credit for this chalk wall. This is an idea that I got from Karen and Connie on their last video that they did, which I will pop on the screen now, but it was such a fun idea. I was like, I have to steal it. I need that somewhere in one of my builds. And when we came across that swatch of the Dream Home Decorator tint, I was like, it's perfect for in here. So we kind of go with like a black and white themed room, but with pops of color here and there, like very pink blue again. The thing though with using a lot of black, gray, and whites in a baby room though, is it kind of feels prison-y. There's really no better way to say it. Like right now with the beds that we have down, it looks like a little toddler prison. It's like we gave them some fun colors on the walls and the floor, but everything else kind of has like slight prison energy to it. And while I think there is an argument to be made that the 100 Baby Challenge is essentially like child prison, we don't really want it to feel that way. So we do end up swapping these beds, and I think what we end up with, like, it's a canopy bed with string lights, so it's still on the color theme, but much less prison energy. So hopefully you think it turns out okay. I actually love this room because I think it might be the most unique toddler room that I've ever decorated before. It's just not usually a color scheme that you would choose to put in a toddler space. I will go ahead and pre-tell you the slide that I have placed down is too close to the wall, so you do have to scooch it out some because it's already uploaded to the gallery like right now, so I can't go back and change it again. I think that was the only thing I came across though that didn't work. And then we also added some fun string lights, and you can see those canopy beds now. And I think that's pretty much it for our toddler room in here. And I love it. Like I said, I think it's such a unique style of toddler room that I was pretty pleased with how it all came out. And now we're moving to our bathroom, and bathrooms are usually the first thing to get the boot in my speed builds, but this one actually ends up turning out really cute. I'm gonna let you watch the full thing so I can explain a little bit better. So one thing about me is I'm always pretty down to take a recommendation from chat, and somebody recommended neon lights, and neon lights then kind of opened up a new idea in my head of a disco bathroom. So it looks very normal right now, and I think the neon lights maybe just got recommended, and I'm gonna try it. So it goes from gonna being like the same color as the house scheme to like a black and white bathroom with pink and blue lights all around. So I'm putting these pink and blue lights down, and I'm like, but what if there was a disco ball? And it just kind of devolves from there. It is one of the most fun bathrooms I think I have ever made before. I love it. And once again, if not in the 100 Baby Challenge, then when? Like, it doesn't have to be boring. We could do fun bathrooms. So then of course I'm like, well, if it's gonna be a disco bathroom, then I need a funky rug. So we add in a funky rug. And then I'm like, well, if we're gonna have that, we need the little light from Party Essentials kit. And so we add that in, and then I'm like, well, if we're gonna use Party Essentials anyways, we might as well put down the dance floor that has fog. So when you turn it on, it kind of looks like shower steam on the bathroom floor. I love it. It looks so good in live mode. I'll bring a sim here because at the end we'll do a tour. So I'll bring a sim to the lot so I can show you, because this bathroom has like fun stuff happening with the fog on the floor and the light that has like a little dance effect. But also the upstairs bathroom has an effect that happens in live mode as well. So I will show you all of that at the end when we do a full tour of the lot, because I know in a speed build like this, it's so hard to keep up with what is going where. Like, it's moves so fast, it's kind of chaotic. But that is our disco bathroom pretty much done at this point. I love her. I think it's my favorite bathroom I've ever made. I am obsessed with it, and I have deemed all uses of that bathroom a disco dump. So let me know what you think about that. But now we're on our porch for a second, and I'm placing down a little knitting corner here because in my 100 Baby Challenge, we have like an egregious amount of money, and I'm gonna be cheating a lot of that away. But also that huge cake from the event, I recently learned that your Sims can actually age up with it like a birthday cake. So I'm gonna place that down and try to use that in the 100 Baby Challenge. It is an 800 simoleon cake, so we're gonna need to make sure that the candles stay added, but I'm interested in trying to use it in that way. But I've also made it a goal to add in a lot of woohoo spots in this house. So I'm adding a closet. We end up with a woohoo bush. At some point we end up with a dumpster. You can see me with that safe now, and spoiler alert, it does end up in the house, but not in Ashton's house. So this little house on the side now is Ashton's home, and we're decorating the little area in front as like a meditation studio, because what we do in my 100 baby challenge is my mom sim kind of changes aspirations and like what she does every time we move, and honestly even after we move, like sometimes again if she finishes it quick enough. I really like to give my mom sim a goal and something to work towards other than just like having and raising all 100 babies. I think it makes the 100 baby challenge a lot more fun and like a lot more entertaining to do. I get a lot of comments and questions about people asking like how I've continued to do the 100 baby challenge, because they only make it, let's just say for example, like 20 babies, and then they get bored with it. And I think the 100 baby challenge is something that's very easy to get bored with if you don't give your mom sim a storyline, because it's very grindy. Like the 100 baby challenge at its core is a very like grindy challenge. It's very repetitive. You do the same thing for 100 total babies. It can get old very quickly, but I find if I give her a storyline and give her like dreams and aspirations, it makes it a lot more fun, because it's almost like a little mini super sim challenge alongside the 100 baby challenge, and I really like that. Obviously the babies are the priority, and then the aspiration is kind of her secondary, but at least it's something fun for us to work towards and for her to have some skills to build that's not just like random. I think moving worlds often too makes it a little bit more fun, but like not everybody's looking to build new 100 baby houses every like 10 to 25 babies. Like that can be a lot, and it's hard to find stuff on the gallery that's like exactly what you're looking for. Not to say that there aren't a ton of great 100 baby houses out there, but I think the kind of houses that I build for myself for the 100 baby challenge are so specific. Like they're a very special kind of house. It's hard to find houses with like public restrooms and a lot of woohoo spots, and like it's just such a niche challenge, to be honest with you. Like it's hard to find those kinds of things on the gallery. There are a ton of people who play the 100 baby challenge, but if I had to venture to guess, if you've also played the 100 baby challenge, I bet you play it a lot different than me, and I bet you look for different things in the homes that you move into. I also make my baby challenge houses very specific to like what my mom sim is doing at the time. So my very first 100 baby house, the Crystal Creations pack had just come out, and that's what she was doing. So I included the Crystal Creation cutting station. But if you wanted your mom sim to be a writer, then that doesn't really work for you. So I feel like you almost need to build your own 100 baby houses. Not that you have to, obviously. If you can find a great house on the gallery and edit it in whatever way you want, that's perfect. Always feel free to, like, this room now that we're working on is a spa room, but if you wanted to use this house for your 100 baby challenge and you don't want to use a spa room, like, change it. Absolutely take it and make it your own and live in it how you see your family living in it. Like that's what the gallery is for. Obviously don't go re-upload anybody else's builds as your own, but you are welcome to download and change as you please. While we're continuing on my mom sim's zen room, I do like to use these speed builds as little life updates, and like borderline is a mini podcast. So I did want to update you guys on where I've been health wise, because I've mentioned it a few times that I was struggling, that I was having procedures. And so I kind of wanted to give you like the full and fingers crossed final update on all of that. So I thought I was having GI problems and had 2 different like procedures where they put you to sleep to try to figure out what the issue was, and they didn't find anything. So I kind of realized, and I think I knew in my bones all along, but just didn't want to admit that it was true, that we're pretty sure it's my endometriosis that has attached to like the outer side of my bowels, which is why they couldn't find anything. So I started the Lupron Depot shot is what it's called. It's kind of an aggressive shot. I had a lot of like mental health struggles with it, I guess you could say, when I took it the first time. But this time it's been seeming to go a lot better, so I'm happy, and my pain is getting a lot better, and overall I'm feeling a lot better. We're not 100% perfect yet, but I think we are on the right track finally, which is honestly so relieving. And I'm so sorry that I have to keep bringing up like health problems, but it was affecting my upload schedule and whatnot. So hopefully it won't be affecting my upload schedule anymore. I talked about this on stream and I kind of want to talk about it here, but I think that there's a bit of a hesitancy to talk about health problems, especially when it's like women health problems specifically. But endometriosis is not an uncommon thing. It's like 1 in 10 women. And I feel like it's one of those things that just doesn't get talked about enough. And there's a really high likelihood that somebody that's watching this probably also has it or knows someone else who does. And it's one of those struggles that just never really goes away completely. I was originally diagnosed like via laparoscopy surgery in 2021. And then 3 years after that, I had to have my left ovary removed. And now about a year after that, like it's grown attached to my bowels. So it's just one of those things that's like a constant. You might feel relief for a little while, but like chances are solid it will come back. And I just feel like it needs to be talked about more, and it shouldn't have such like a negative association to speak about women's health issues. It takes on average about 10 years for a woman to get diagnosed with it, and I can tell you from personal experience that it is excruciating. The pain levels that I was in, especially like before I got diagnosed, were crazy. I was really fortunate to find a doctor who listened to me, but that was not before going to a doctor who absolutely brushed me off completely. So if you have painful periods or struggles during your cycle, please seek out medical attention. Please advocate for yourself. If you can't advocate for yourself, bring someone who can advocate for you. I'm not saying periods can't be a little bit rough, but it should not be excruciating pain. So find a doctor who will listen. They are out there. Sorry for getting on my soapbox, but on to happier things. This is our under the sea bathroom. I love it. I can't decide if I like this or the disco bathroom better, but this one, I was like, well, I can't let the disco bathroom outshine it. We have to like match energy. So match energy we do. You can't really see it super well, but we're gonna end up with some bubble blower things on the walls. It looks like nothing in build mode, but in live mode, oh my god, it's so cute. And we do put a fish bowl in here. Please don't put your fish in bowls, but in The Sims it's fine. And I put a pineapple in there because I don't know, I've just been making SpongeBob references lately, so it felt right. But I love this one. It's so much fun. I think that this is the most fun I've ever had with the 100 baby build, to like really go all out with our bathrooms in this way. But you can see me putting in those little bubble blowers now. And I think a lot of the fun of building this 100 baby house was pretty much every room we did had some kind of theme to it. So we are on our infant room now, and it is going to be a circus theme room. I am obsessed with it. The idea kind of sparked from that rug from the storybook nursery kit. And of course we had to include the tall giraffe. His name is Gary, if I referred to him as such. I accidentally made Gary a little too tall, so I will have to shrink him, but I really liked him being so big like that. So for my 100 baby challenge, the infants only need the play mats. I like to be able to have our babies in the house, so like that's why we put those bassinets. But the actual infants really only need that little tiny front area of the room. That's all we use. I know it looks a little bit cramped, but let me tell you, I play tested that area of the build very well in yesterday's episode, and it works fabulously. I also put the clown painting on the wall. I don't know if he's gonna stay there. He did not make my Sims sad this past episode, but if he starts to make my Sims too sad, he's getting the boot. But I did get some paintings off the gallery. They're called circus nursery art on there, and I think that that is a great way to find art that like wouldn't otherwise be in the Sims. Just be a little bit careful because I cut it out of the video, but I searched circus art at first, and the first thing we got was like some really scary clowns. It was not the vibes. We needed like cute nursery art, not scary clown art. I don't really have a clown phobia, but that did concern me a little bit. But we added some string lights that looked like show lights, and I believe that is our infant room all done. So now we are moving into I think we actually move upstairs into the kids' bedroom because I was like kind of struggling on what to do with the project room down there. And I knew I wanted to use that new art piece that was like a Pride add-on in The Sims. So we're kind of using that to make a very rainbow themed room up here. Also, not the reason that we did it. I just wanted like fun, happy colors, but happy Pride Month. It kind of came at a good time to do a rainbow theme room, but I feel like a rainbow theme is peak 100 baby energy. So it was perfect for this room. We've kind of got like a pastel rainbow behind like this big rainbow cutout. And then I started to do the stripes around the whole room, but it was a little too much. But we had just enough walls to put one of each of the colors on one of the walls. So that's what we do here. And then we also use the new base game rainbow beds that they gave us in that same update that we got the art piece in. Of course, with all the other themes going on, just rainbow wasn't quite strong enough. So it's like kind of like rainbow sky theme. So we end up using some of the like cloud cutouts and some of the cloud shelves that we have. We have a ton of beds in here. Debatably too many beds, but this is gonna be like the kids and teen space all together. So I just wanted to make sure that no matter what, we had enough beds. I think I have like beds for everybody to be teens and children in the house at the exact same time. And you know what? If it works, it works. It looks cute. It fills the space. I love the color scheme. We kind of played in a little bit more purple just because the pillows on these rainbow beds are purple. And then we're also using like cloud lights and string lights. And it is just such a fun, happy 100 baby room. I also haven't made a 100 baby room like this yet. I've gone through a lot of different renditions of houses, but this is by far the most unique one that I have done yet. And now the last room that we're furnishing is our project room. It's kind of like a skill building / project room. It almost has like a library-esque vibe with the bookshelves. And it's kind of lightly jungle themed, I think is the right way to say it. It's kind of like tiger jungle themed specifically because we use those tiger plushies that are in the debug from For Rent. I think they're so cute, but we end up with like this vine wall for like our jungle aesthetic, several things of plants, and a tiger rug. I can admit it's a little weird, but it actually, for such an odd sounding room, comes out really, really cute. And it just feels like an appropriate kid room. I kind of feel like this house was a house on that show. I can't ever remember what it's called, but they would come and make over the kids' room and the kids would tell them that they like stuff. So like, they'll be like, oh, I like tigers. And then they come back and their room is like full tiger theme. And you know that the kid won't like that for very long, but I guess it was good for the show. I'm not sure. That's kind of what this house feels like to me. Please let me know if you know what show that I'm talking about. It's so old. I remember watching it when I was a kid and thinking it was so cool and would love to have a room like that. But the point being, they were just over the top on their themes. And I feel like me in this house, I'm also a little over the top on themes. But it's so fun and I won't be tired of this house before we leave. I can tell you already, I already love it. I like can't wait to play in it more. It's making me want to play the 100 baby challenge, and the 100 baby challenge can feel like a lot sometimes. So the drive to want to play it is like something special, I think. But we're kind of at the point of wrapping up the build. We do still have some more like exterior touches that we're gonna do by the pool, but I think what I'm gonna do is just show you in the tour because I can only yap so much. When I originally like put the speed build together and sped it up, it was an hour. So the fact that we got it down to like 30 minutes is pretty spectacular, but let's hop into the tour of the build. We are here in the world of Tartosa, and the lot directly behind my face cam is where we built this house at. Welcome to the 100 baby Tartosa villa. It is so cute on the outside. I love the way that the landscaping turned out. And let me give you the full tour. So we'll start on the very bottom floor. Right when you walk in the house, you're met with our little entryway zone. And this just has like your typical entryway things, nothing too special. Moving in here is our kitchen and dining room zone. And this works as a refrigerator, but that your toddler should be able to grab food out of. So that's what I use this for. I love the color scheme and the way that this turned out. We even used some of the new pictures from the kitchen clutter kit. And then here is our small little living room with this adorable fireplace setup. I love the way that the colors look on this in particular. But moving back to the entryway, if you come through this door, this is where our toddler room space is. And I think this one also turned out pretty nice. This is where you need to move the slide out a little bit. You don't have to move it much, but it needs to come out about this far and then it'll work for you. So I'm sorry that it's not on the gallery like that, but let me show you my disco bathroom in live mode. So here's what she looks like. The fog is on. You just have to give it a second to like start fogging, I think. Yeah, there it goes. So the fog kind of looks like shower steam, but once it really gets rolling, it wafts out of the bottom of this door right here, which I think is so funny. And there is a radio here, so there is a chance your Sims will go dance in the disco bathroom. Moving up the stairs is where you'll find our project room space, which is like the tiger jungle theme room. I've got 4 computers up here as well as projects around the whole exterior. And then moving through here is where you will find our under the sea bathroom. You can see the bubbles now on the wall working. The bathroom does function just fine with these there. And there's also some within the mirrors. With the sinks having this little slots, it almost looks like they're coming out of the slots in the sink, and I love that. Going through this door here is where you will find our circus theme infant room. I love the thematics of it. I think it makes me very happy. Behind the bookshelf is where you'll find the staircase to the 3rd floor, which is where all of the kid Sims live at. They do have access to a patio right here that has chests on it. And then through here, they have access to this patio with painting. And then the only bathroom I cut out of the speed build is this little mini cookie bathroom. Just so like if the kids are sleeping and they just need to go to the toilet real quick, they can pop in here instead of having to go up and down stairs. I did include cookie jars and timers on the back of the toilet. You only have so much time to use the bathroom in here. Also, there's a little secret ladder right here, and if you go up there, there's a money vault. I don't know if we'll use it or like why I even put it there, to be honest with you, but I thought maybe it could be a potential fun woohoo spot. So money vault it is, and it's just in this like 3rd top tower that like I didn't really have anything else to do with it anyways. Heading back down on the exterior out here is where we have that big cake. This is the buffet table, so you can have your Sims serve an assortment of food on here. And what I do is have my Sims serve the assortment of food, and then I'll just drag and drop all of the items into the little fridge over here. It's gonna show like they're for sale, but your Sims can come grab servings out of there, no problem. And then we also have a little knitting corner over here, and then down here is where our mom Sim has the little meditation area, as well as a romantic picnic situation set up, but also mainly for the woohoo spot, of course. And then if you continue under here, you'll go into her house. House is a strong word, but she has a bedroom and bathroom, and then her like skill building or whatever it is that her aspiration is going to be at the moment. So for starters, we're doing some of the wellness aspirations. So it's set up like a spa, but this room will probably change as my 100 baby challenge changes. So I'd call it more of a flex room than anything. We have a closet as a woohoo spot. And then we also have her bedroom over here, which is so fun in pink, and I adore it. And through this door is where her bathroom is located. It's kind of the same color theme as the rest of the main house. Continuing outside, we've got more lush landscaping all around out here. And then we have a pool with a hot tub on it. Your Sims can woohoo in here, of course, so another woohoo spot. And then I just included some lounges. We have an overturned book on this table, and then a little tea pitcher over, or I guess lemonade even, pitcher on this table, and then just a little fire pit with some loungers. And then just for the kids, I do also have a monkey bar set out here, but it's like the only outdoor thing for the kids. But that is the house all done. It is already up on my gallery if you're interested. It's the 100 baby Tartosa villa. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, comment a pink flower emoji for like a tropical flower since we moved to the world of Tartosa. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.